check it out. My Haas lathe finally came in. So I ordered this a few months ago, but Haas is such an awesome company. They make amazing machines, so there's always gonna be a lead time, which few months, not too bad for them to build this brand new machine. Check this thing out, it's a beast. Look at the cast frame on this thing. Everything's huge, real heavy. This thing weighs about 5,000 pounds. And all the Haas machines, many other companies too, are cool. You could spec these things out just like you would like a big rig or something. There's a lot of options. Right there's a tailstock. Right here's the tool changer. So this is a quick change tool changer. So you just move this lever, lift this up, your tooling goes in there, and it comes with a couple different blocks. I also got a 8-position turret to go with it. The reason that's not on there is because I want to learn how to use it first. I'll learn how to use it with this, and then once I get confident, I'll put the turret on. The turret automatically changes the tools for you. So if you're making a part with this, you have to stop the machine, open up the doors, change your tooling. With the turret on there, you put it in your program, which is right here, and it changes the different tooling for you. So you don't have to stop the machine, shut it off. It's a lot faster, but you can also crash the tooling if your program is not right. What that means is if you have a part in here spinning and you change your tool and you don't have your program right, it'll run the tool right into the part, damage the tool or the part you're making. So I'll learn it with this, then I'll put the turret in. I also optioned this with a bigger chuck. This is a 10-inch, comes standard with an 8. And the reason I went with the bigger chuck is because the spindle bore, which is this piece, if you take a look at this right here, that's the spindle bore. This is 3.5 inches. The 8-inch chuck is 2.3 inches, and the reason I want a little bit bigger was for when I make the suspension link bars on trucks like this, which are these bars right here. I'm making them out of 2.5 inch, 70-75 aluminum. So with this being 2.3, it's not big enough. And also I want to start making my own shock bodies for the off-road trucks, which are going to be a little bit bigger than 3-inch outside diameter. So the 8-inch chuck wasn't going to work for me. Another option, if you take a look at my old lathe over here, a lot of parts came with it too, a lot of boxes. Haas is such a good company. Once I run the electrical and the air, they're going to come out and set this thing up. So look at this old lathe. This is the 1946 lathe that still works awesome to this day. It's nice and smooth. This is the first lathe I've ever bought. I'm still going to keep it. I'll probably restore it. Anyway, so these are hand wheels right here. You just turn the wheels and it moves this piece. So on this one, this right here was another option. This piece is magnetic. It's not hooked up yet. Just go like that, and it sticks on. So you have your Z axis and your X axis. So you move these and that moves. And you can change your feed rates and all that. Very cool. Definitely my biggest shop equipment purchase to date. And there's so many to choose from. Haas is such an awesome company. They sent their sales rep out here after I emailed them, let them know I was interested in a new machine. So they sent their sales rep out. Awesome lady, and she came here and I showed her what I do, what I plan to do. And I was actually originally going to get a different machine called an ST series. And I was just telling her how I want to buy a mill called the UMC 750, which is a 5-axis mill. So she told me for what I was doing, for the parts I want to make, like the big long shock bodies, the suspension links, that I should consider this and then go with the UMC 750 for the 5-axis stuff. So very helpful. Looks like an awesome machine, top quality. I hear their programming system is the easiest in the industry to use. Came with this nice little tool rack, brush, and there's some tooling that came with it. You got a nice little area right here, liners on it to put your tools. So it's pretty cool. Right there is the tailstock. Big piece of cast, real heavy, no play in it, nice and smooth. Monitoring was nice and easy, nice and smooth. You guys have a little notepad right there. So this is definitely gonna take my business to the next level, so I can't wait to get this thing up and running. I had to knock out a wall right here, so I knew that this machine would fit in this area, but the thing is there's a chip tray, goes in the side over here. So that's why for now, I just cut that hole in the wall This used to be a body shop, so this was the guy's paint mixing room, and he was a big time hoarder. This shop was such a mess when I bought it. He left a lot of junk here, but he's still around, so I packed it all up for him. There's a bunch of paint and stuff in here and put it in the proper containers. He came with a trailer and picked it up, so it's good. I didn't have to dispose of that. It was going to be a nightmare. But I'm going to take the rest of this wall down. I'm going to clear all this out too. Look at how old this computer is. It's crazy. These are my stands. This is a stand I made. It's an engine stand. I built this piece to hold box truck differentials. It's an engine hoist, another stand. So I'll be cleaning this whole room out, knocking that wall down. And then once I get this opened up and I got that hooked up and where I'm confident that I can use it properly, then I'm gonna call Haas, get that UMC 750 in the works. So for now, what I use for the mill is this right here. This is like a 20-year-old Bridgeport with a CNC retrofit kit, but this thing's awesome. It works great. It's like new. I bought it from a vocational school, so pretty soon that'll be upgraded. Got to get all those parts out of the boxes. So as far as the monster truck update, so I was recently at a show last weekend and another MSD ignition box went bad. I'll show you the box I'm talking about. That box right there, that's called a points box. This is a Magneto, it's an MSD Pro Mag. So I finally figured out why this thing was going through boxes. I'm on my 4th box and at almost $1,000 a piece. It's a lot of money. So my problem was right here. I was running a piece called the firewall feed through. And what that is, it's a plastic piece and it has a brass rod going through it, or it could have been copper. I don't know, I cut it apart, it looked like brass to me. And then there's a spark plug end on each side. So you would run a short wire from the Magneto to the feed through, and then from the feed through, you run a short wire from there to the coil right here. And this is the coil, it's located inside the box. And as it turns out, that was too much of a restriction for this whole setup. So the way a Magneto works is it's almost like a generator. It makes its own power. There's no external power wires going to this thing. There's just one cable going to the box, and then another cable coming out of the box. It just goes to a kill switch, similar to like a kill switch on a dirt bike. It's just a 2-wire, closes a circuit, and that's it. So I'm running a electric kill solenoid and then an RII, and the RII is the same one that this company makes for Monster Jam, and I bought it brand new right from the company, and it's a top quality box. It's very expensive, but I called that company up anyway, and they were like, "No, man, it can't be the box because that box just opens and closes the circuit through a relay, and there's no way it could backfeed power." And I kind of figured that anyway. So, and then I called MSD. I spoke with their Magneto guy, and I explained to him everything that was in this system. So I have the electric kill solenoid, which is made by MSD, an MSD tack adapter, and then the RII. And then I told him, coming out of the box, I have a spark plug wire going from the coil to a firewall feed through, from the feed through to the distributor cap. And he's like, "Wait a minute, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, firewall feed through." He's like, "No, man, you can't run that. That's your problem right there." And I'm like, how can that be? I ohmed it out and it's showing 0 ohms. And so these are spiral core wires. They're supposed to have ohm resistance of like 40, 50 ohms. So the way he explained it to me was the box has to expel energy. So this is like a generator, and it puts power to the box, and then it goes through the box into the coil, and the coil amplifies it, sends it to the coil wire. So if that box can't expel energy fast enough, meaning there's a restriction here, it's got to expel that energy through this wire, through these wires, into the plugs. And if it can't do that, it's going to backfeed and burn out the box. So he's like, "Oh man, you just got to take that feed through out of there and you'll be fine." So I did that and I started it, and so far everything's been good. So it's kind of crazy that a $20 part costs thousands in ignition boxes. So lesson learned. I never usually build things for looks, more for function. I don't really care what stuff looks like, just want it to work properly. But I don't know why I did that in this case, just because I knew when this thing went to a show, it was going to be on display. Everybody's going to look at it, brand new monster truck. But oh well, lesson learned. Fix it and move on. So anyway, that's it for now. Pretty soon I'll have this machine up and running. I got some videos coming on this thing. So take care. See you next time. Bye.